Hello, welcome to Math 206, Business Calculus online at UMKC. I will be your instructor for this course. My name is Stephanie Van Ryan. The purpose of this video is to go over the three programs we'll be using. We'll be using Blackboard as kind of keep everything together course content wise, as far as policies, schedules, syllabus, anything like that will be in Blackboard. My math lab will actually be the material for the course. All the videos, PowerPoints, homework, quizzes, exams, everything will be accessed, as well as your grades, will be accessed in my math lab. And then the third program we use is Piazza, and Piazza is a message board forum for us to communicate as a class. It has the ability for students to see each other's questions, so you might all have the same question on a same homework assignment, and I'm able to answer that in a forum where everyone can see that and feed off it versus emailing me and answering the question maybe 30 times. So if we get started, I first want to go over Blackboard. Blackboard is going to be our organizational site where I organize the syllabus and anything else that I give you or I want to make for you as far as schedules, things like that. The My Math Lab course will not open until the first day of classes, Tuesday, January 19th. So if you try to get into that course beforehand, you're going to get an error. The reason why that is because I want everyone to be able to take full advantage of the free 14-day trial of My Math Lab. So keep that in mind. You're able to navigate through Blackboard and Piazza, just won't be able to get into My Math Lab until it opens. You can always find an updated version of the syllabus attached here. And I want to go over a couple things in the syllabus. First off, this is an asynchronous course, so you're not required to meet with me at a specific time during the week. I understand everyone's on their own schedule, and I try to be flexible with that. If you post a question to the Piazza message board, you can see my policies for responding things here. This is a link to the Piazza message board if you need it, and this is the sign up link. I've emailed you guys out a email welcoming you to the Piazza message board, but if you didn't get that or you lost that, you can find that sign up link right here as well. I am also trying to be flexible with the way you communicate with me, so you can send me an email, you can call me if you're having questions or something, or you can text me, whatever you're most comfortable with. Anything not related to content, if that's grade extensions, you have a personal issue or something's going on, please send that email to umkc.edu. I'm not allowed to respond about grades or anything like that in any other form except at the umkc.edu email. So if you email me at Gmail or something, or use your Gmail account, I'm not able to email you back if it's a grade issue or a personal issue. I do live video tutoring with you guys, so if anyone wants to meet in a synchronized one-on-one kind of tutor session, just make an appointment with me. I have office hours, but you're able to do that by appointment because I understand everyone's schedule is a little crazy. Tutoring. There's face-to-face tutoring on campus, and their times can be found at their website, and there's also online 24/7 tutoring. And then also in my math lab, there's a couple different tools for tutoring as well. So definitely take advantage of all the resources that are available to you. So scrolling down here, some things I want to highlight in your syllabus. I expect you to read your whole syllabus, but the course schedule, everything for the course will be due at 11:59 p.m. on Monday nights. Each week. So the first week material will be due next Monday, the second week's will be the Monday after that, and so forth. So you know on Monday at 11:59 p.m. you have something due from that previous week. You're able to work ahead in the course. However, if you do get behind and you're doing assignments, you will have a penalty on that, and that's a 20% reduction in your score on problems that you're doing after the due date. Everything content-wise is in my math lab. That's homework, quizzes, and exams. So there's three categories there. Some things to highlight. You have unlimited attempts at each homework problem. So when you're doing the homework problem, you do it problem by problem. So you can work on problem 1, problem 5, problem 2, everything like that's fine. You can go as many times as you need to attempt the problem. Usually it's randomly generated, so you might get a different numbers each time. Um, but you have that on your homework problems. On the quizzes, you have to take the whole quiz. So usually there's 5 problems on the quiz, and you have, if you do the 5 problems and say you missed 2, you can take the whole quiz again, but you have to take all 5 problems again. But you have a limited attempts on the quiz. So if you are willing to work hard at this course, you really can get the grade you want to succeed at that. And then the exams are set up the same way the quizzes are. You're going to have 2 attempts. Usually there's 10 to 15 problems on the exam. And so you have 2 attempts. You take the whole exam. If you don't like your score, you can take the exam again. And the gradebook will always take the highest score. So if you're working on a quiz, say you miss 1 out of the 5, and then the next time you take it you miss 2 out of the 5, it's always going to take your best score for the gradebook. And the grade breakdown here, 40% is going to be from homework. So doing your homework, 40% of your grade is your homework. I'll drop the 2 lowest, and then on the quizzes I'll drop the 2 lowest quizzes, and that's 20% of your grade. And then each exam is worth 10%. So those exams are really worth where the meat and potatoes of the course are. You should check your email, Piazza, and My Math Lab regularly. My Math Lab's gradebook will update once you submit something and once things become due. So it's not going to count anything until it becomes due, and then either you get your grade you submitted or a 0 for that, depending on resource policies and statements. You guys can read through all this. This is what UMKC requires us to put in our syllabus. Disability support, grade appeal, all that fun stuff. I think there's two or three pages of that, so I expect you to read through that and adhere to anything that's in that. Going back to Blackboard, your first assignment is to introduce yourself on Piazza, and you can do that from any of those various links. You can also find the Piazza link here. If you click on it, it's going to open a new window. And then questions and answers link is right here. And you can see my introduction and then your fellow students' introductions. So looking at the toolbar on the left-hand side of the page in Blackboard, you can find the announcements, and I'll send out weekly announcements that will also go to your UMKC email about what was due the previous week and what will be due the next week. Schedule and checklist, and this is where I really think it's really handy, is to keep the course organized. So I actually have 2 different views here. This is everything we'll do through the course and when things are due, and then I have this checklist, and I think I have them both as PDFs, so you can click on the link here and open it as a PDF. I would strongly recommend you print off the checklist and keep this by your computer or by your notes for the course, and check off what you've done, and you can see clearly when it's due. So I hope to keep you guys organized for the course to get to where you need to be by the time I have to submit grades at the end of the semester. So you can kind of see everything that's due for the week, and you can also see that in My Math Lab, but it's really nice to kind of check that off when you have those complete, and then you know, okay, I can kind of relax this week, I got everything done, or I really need to make sure I have everything done come Monday at 11:59 p.m. So I think both those PDFs are very useful to actually print off, because sometimes in an online class, everything being virtual, there's a little disconnect there. So actually a hard piece of paper, hang it up, put it somewhere safe or by your computer or your workstation, and you can check that off as you go. The objectives by the week, so you can see what we'll be covering, and you can print that off as well. There's a PDF there, and you can print that off to see what we're covering each week. And some of the concepts are a little harder than others, so you might think, oh, we're only covering one section, but we might cover quite a bit in that one section, versus we're covering 4 or 5 sections, but the basic concepts are pretty easy to grasp there, so keep that in mind. Moving on to My Math Lab. So you're going to click this link, and it's going to take you to your course. assignments, gradebook, links to that. However, your course is not open yet. So if I click this link now, it's going to give me an error saying the course is not started. So I'm going to go ahead and open my view of the course just to kind of give you guys a feel for the layout. You won't be able to see anything that has a little dash through it. So just kind of, this would be the main toolbar on the left hand side of the page, and you can always click on assignments and it will list all the assignments for the course. I haven't put any exams in there yet, but I will do that by Tuesday. So I want to show you an example of a homework. So if you open this homework, you'll have the list of the questions and then how many points they're, all of them are 1 point. Your policies for the assignment, and then also the link to video. So if you're struggling on a certain concept in the questions, you can watch these videos. You can watch these videos and work on the questions. There are resources available within each question. So if I open question 1, I have a drop down menu up here of the questions. It tells me what section I'm working in. These are my overview, a quick overview there. You can print this. You can see when you last worked on it. This toolbar here is your potential things that are may help you out. There's maybe animations that will open up another window that will go over
how the definition of limit works.
An animation. It'll link to your textbook, so if you click that, it'll open up your textbook and will take you to the section that that question is in. So it'll take you to the page number that first section it's in, and you can go through and read through your textbook as you're answering the question. See if I go to, sometimes there are view an example or help me solve it. So if you do help me solve it, it will walk you through the steps and tell you how many parts there are. So continue, enter the answer, check answer, and so it'll give you all the different steps of the problem, and then once you submit it, if you got it right, it will actually let you do the one that it's asking you on. And if you get it wrong, a lot of times it will give you more than one, or it'll give you multiple attempts at the question, but a lot of times the graphs change or things like that. And depending on what you're viewing it on, if you have a computer or desktop or a tablet or what, you might have a slightly different view. Usually you can zoom in. So if you can't see it very well, sometimes you just need to zoom in. Other questions, do an example, link to the video, textbook. I kind of avoid the Ask My Instructor button because it emails me, and I'd much rather you prefer to post it to the Piazza message board. So you should be able to, highlight this in a certain sense and copy it and paste it to Piazza message board, or you can take a screenshot. A lot of students did that in the past. They'll just take a quick screenshot and then post that to the Piazza message board. So you have a lot of resources within your homework. Your quizzes will be a little bit different, so I'm going to go ahead and leave the page there, and then it'll also give you a green check mark if you did them correctly. So if I go back to assignments and I go to the quiz, it's going to open up and tell you the policies. And how it works, you have to take all 5 questions or however many questions there are. So here's 5 at once. So if you're ready to start, there's no time limit or anything like that, and you have unlimited attempts. So even if you get in the middle of a quiz and exit out of it, you can still go back and retake that quiz. However, you can't move around the questions. You have to take it one question by one question by one question. So if I just click that, I'm not even looking at the question, I just want to click to the next part, it will say what question you're on, and then once you've submitted the whole quiz, it will always say, did you want to submit it? You haven't answered all the questions. You can go. Again, it will tell you haven't submitted it. It will give you the breakdown, and then also it will give you the resources available. You can review the quiz. You can review the questions, and then it will give you that overview once you've submitted it. Say you only got these questions, you got them all wrong, that's your score. So you can review them question by question, you can close out of it, and then you should be able to go back and take the quiz again if you need that. And the exam, you're only going to have 2 chances at it though. So you take the exam once, you can review it, and then you can take it again. They're usually randomly generated from a pool. So you have so many questions from section 1, so many questions from section 2, so many questions for section 3. So once you randomly generate your quiz again, it might not be the exact same problems. Generally it's the same type of problem, but it might be a function instead of a graph, or a graph instead of multiple choice on the same type of question. So hopefully that gives anyone a little bit less anxiety going in the course. You really do have the time to sit down and understand the material at your own pace instead of what might be in a face-to-face classroom. Your gradebook, you can show your overall score, anything that you've submitted, the time you've spent on it, and so I can see kind of everything going on here. If you click on your overall score, it will tell you your homework, quiz, and test. And I haven't taken a test yet, so that won't be put in my grades until a test comes. And then your percentage, your it's weighted, so each assignment is equally weighted as you go. But then the whole course is weighted. So there's assignments weighted, and then the categories are weighted. Chapter content. So you can find the sections, information about your ebook here, but you can also find, instead of chapter content button, I want to go to the multimedia library. So if you click on the multimedia library and you go to, let's say, chapter 1, section 1.1, if you select all, you can find the links to the PowerPoint. So if you want to get kind of a quick overview, you can open up the PowerPoint. You can find any examples or introductional videos here, interactive figures that might be linked to those questions, any animations, or the link to the textbook. So you can find that for any of the sections. If you go to all the sections, again, it's going to give you all the sections. So you can see what sections are due. If you want to download the PowerPoints or open the PowerPoints and have them saved to your computer so you don't have to be online, you can do that. And the PowerPoint's just kind of a quick overview of the textbook. It uses the same examples, the same definitions, things like that. So once the PowerPoint open, I can kind of show you that. So you can enable editing, you can print it, you can save it to your desktop and open it offline. But it just kind of, these are kind of nice if you want to make flashcards or something of, definition of a limit, different theorems. Quick check, so, if you want to go over there, if this is the function, what is the value of the function at 3? And then what happens as f of x approaches 3, and it will actually go through the solutions with you. So if you kind of want to step yourself through that, again, I want to give you all the tools and resources available that's going to help you be successful. So sometimes that's watching a lecture, sometimes that's going over the PowerPoint, sometimes that's reading the book, sometimes that's just working in the homework. Whatever you need to do to be successful in the course, I want to help you and support you in doing that. And so the last thing I want to show you is the Piazza message board. So this Piazza message board would be where you could ask questions. So one of my other courses, which I've already opened, you can see how other students go ahead and post their response to the introduction, but you can also use this to ask questions and get feedback from your fellow classmates as well as myself. I wish you guys the best of luck in this course. I'm here to support you and guide you through the material, but whether or not you learn the material is really up to each individual student. So please keep me posted if you need anything. I try to be flexible with you guys. I really want to see you guys succeed in the course, and Have a great semester.